And we're back. Everybody wakes up in the morning, starts to pack up the camp. See the city of come up in the near distance there. Might take an hour or two to reach it, but it is there within distance.
Start traveling. I think he said this. That's exactly what I was thinking, Zach. But I think he said the city come up, like up here,
Yeah.
or is it the city come up? Yeah, no, that's what I thought too. I'm like, no way.
There.
Start traveling to come up.
Good, because I was about to spend a Fabula point.
Oh. What are we spending a fabulous point on?
To make the city's name come up, I
Come up, what? You roboted.
was going to make the name this. I was going to make the town's name come up by canon.
Come up by cannon. Alright.
All right, we had to come up by cannon. And I'm deducting one Fabula point from Randall.
That's a second FP spent by the Rondel. Alright. This city has some small walls to it, mainly to follow people through the gates to basically get a look of who's coming in and out of the city. They're not very tall walls, but still functional enough. But as you get closer to the city, you start getting that sea breeze air, that scent of salt on the wind,
Mm-hmm.
that feeling you can only really get from the ocean breeze.
I say we beeline it straight to the airship.
All right, go in past the gates. Ignore a crowd of people complaining about something at a gaming hall looking building. Keep on going straight through the streets.
Oh, that's a question. What are you talking about?
Rose
Gaming
is
hall?
moving with purpose. I will too.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I will. I'll ask a quick question. What are you talking about? Gaming hall? Sorry for being nosy.
Oh, apparently the keeper that brought it in core race is well, apparently he's gonna think about how replacing the game with a new game, or maybe releasing it alongside it.
Interesting. Does he Can I summon my monster course to him?
Oh, get that. Turn the monster cores into some sort of cards or whatever. Yeah. Apparently, core races could. It's always a coin flip of it if it's a fat ass game or if the game will last a long time. Going off by what the keeper said. But with this new game from it, I mean, game shouldn't take up too much time. Allow people to play a whole lot more.
Well, we have to check with some things we have to do, but if we have time, we will check out the creator, I guess. What's his name?
That's just the thing. He's just known as the keeper.
The Keeper. Okay. Do you know where he's from?
Nobody's actually really seen him. He just talks through this screen thing.
Is it Ionia's check?
Heck if I know.
Huh. Well, if we have time, we'll check it out.
Yeah, sure.
Catch you later. Thanks for the info. Where'd you say he was? At the gaming hall?
Yeah, gaming hall. It's kind of near the front gate.
Nothing about this place suggests that they'd have that kind of magic tech. Wonder what that's all on about.
Well, Randall, what do you think? We should make for the airship first, right? To check in with the crew and prepare for takeoff. Maybe we'll have some downtime after that.
I would agree. We've been away from the ship too long. We need to make sure that everything is in order. Definitely check in on the crew.
Yeah.
The last thing we need is for word to get back to the crew that we're fooling around in town doing party things when there are dozens of people on board the ship that are waiting for us.
Yeah, definitely. And maybe we could set like a departure date, like maybe tomorrow or the next day after that, and then if we have time, check out this creator, the keeper or whatever.
Agreed. You know just as well as I do that preparations in order to launch a ship can be extensive. So we need to check on that and start those procedures. Do we need to make sure that the ship is seaworthy, airworthy, and everything? And that takes some time. Safety first.
Yes. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Especially if this ship is going to be a tiny dot in the sky.
Yeah, y'all approach the docks. See a bunch of various seafaring ships, but Randall and probably the rest of the party's attention is more focused on one of the ships resting in the water at the docks. And if you want to go ahead, Randall, to describe the shooting star.
The shooting star is a longer ship than most. Narrow and has one main mast, two large sails. Both of those large sails have the Ionian symbol on them, which is a vivid aquamarine cross bordered by bronze atop white. At the prow of the ship, the very front, there is, of course, a figure. And that figure is built into the ship. This statuette, figurine at the front, is made of bronze, much like the rails of the ship and the keel, both of them made of bronze. Her wings are laying across the front of the ship, and her arms played back along the railings. Her face looks forward, and she has an 8-pointed star at her breast, pointed forward. Lining the edges of the ship above the waterline are 4 trap doors. Those trap doors currently closed, but beyond them, cannons. 2 of those cannons are pointed at a 45-degree angle forward, and 2 of them are pointed at a 45-degree angle to the rear. Even from here, you can see the ties that hold bands around the stacked cannonballs on board the deck. The hull of the ship, however, is what draws Randall up short, and Rosea as well, because the hull, made of white with blue striping near the railings, has been damaged in places and has obviously been patched up just recently. Those patches are fresh, and what would look like a gleaming ship normally looks like a patchwork job now. The pilot house near the middle of the ship, 2/3 of the way back, is closed now, made of this orange type wood, much like the deck. In front of it is the large rectangular gaping hole covered in a grating, leads to the cargo hold. Behind it, and stacked up a little higher, are what look like Magitech equipment, pointed backward and forward in antennae, sensing equipment. And this too is bronze and imprinted with Magitech symbols. Near the front of the ship, beneath the water line, would be the scanner, which is currently withdrawn into the ship and held up. And at the back, of course, are twin rudders, one made for water and one made for air, like a fan sail, a sail of a fan made of white sail that is above the thick wooden and metal rudder at the back of the ship. On board the ship, amongst all of the orange twine and coiled ropes, guidelines that string the ship in every direction, are humans and bird people with beaks and wings, and yes, even shark people with thick tails that trail behind them, moving around and slinging ropes here and there. Randall decides to move to the gangplank. This it's a U-shaped trench with white sail on both sides of it that leads between the dock and the ship. And Randall makes straight for it. His expression distinctly turned into a frown. He doesn't like what he sees.
I'm gonna take a guess by his reaction that those damages weren't there before.
No. You can tell by different colors in the wooding. It's fresh. Doesn't have the usual worn look.
I'll say, would they take the ship out for a joyride?
Impossible. They wouldn't have left the deck without order. After all, we could have come back to the ship at any moment and in a hurry, especially because of our diplomatic mission. We could have, it's unlikely, but we could have come back under fire from Cauldron forces if we messed things up bad enough. This was a risky mission to begin with, remember?
So how do you explain the patchwork?
I don't. That's up to the XO. We need to find out what happened.
Agreed.
At that moment, as I'm coming up to the deck, there's normally pleasantries that are exchanged. Permission to cross the quarter deck, permission granted, that type of thing. All of that is tossed off as soon as I pull back my cloak. And the boarding officer who's standing there looks at us, and I look at him. I need to go to my quarters. Summon the XO. We need to have a meeting. We need to have a staff meeting in my quarters now.
Right, at once, Captain.
The people that are coming behind us are all permitted, even the small green fuzzy thing. They will come to the staff meeting as well.
You sure that's wise, Captain?
I've been adventuring with them for over a week now. They're part of the diplomatic mission to bring in from Wyoming. After we board, bring up the gangplank and begin preparing the ship for sail.
Aye, aye. That's what
Understood. You have your order.
what people rushes off to go get the XO, and as the last person boards the ship, yep, the gangplank is pulled up, locked it back into place, and people start getting ready to untie from the dock.
Do you have a first mate on this ship? Number one, as it were?
Yes, the XO.
We do. He is the executive officer. His last name is Hutza. You'll like him.
Yeah, Malachi
And
Hutza.
he's got a good story to tell, I bet.
Is he an alien too?
Malachi Hutza is a human like us. That doesn't mean that officers can't be from other races in the Ionian military. But
Like us.
the alliances that we've made recently are recent. So for those to have gone for the full generation that it takes to become high officers through the academy, it's going to take some time. Oh, but we'll see them. We'll see them. Right now, we're relying on field promotions to bring up some of the crewmen into the ranks of officers, and it's happened more than once. For example, our quartermaster happens to be a shark man. Oh, forgive me. I need to start introducing you to the ship, but first we need to introduce you to Malachi Hutza, and we need to figure out exactly what damages there have been to the ship and why. As I start moving down, as I enter the built-up pilot house of the ship, I explain to them very quickly. This is the bridge. We won't be meeting here. We'll be meeting in the captain's stateroom down below. This is probably a better place to meet, and a better place for you to get used to how cramped this ship can be. As you're walking along, do not salute anyone. If you salute indoors, your arm's going to swing out and your elbow's going to catch on something. We do not salute indoors.
Okay.
Noted.
Or below deck. It's just unsafe. And if you're in an urgent need to get somewhere, then the word that you will use is gangway. Usually everyone else will back up and let you pass. There's not enough room for two people facing forward and back in most of these corridors. So we're constantly bumping into each other if we're careful. Second thing, as I pull open a hatch. Ships have a lot of ladders. Get used to a lot of climbing. In some places for emergency damage control, there are poles that you can slide down from one deck to the next. Each of these decks is color-coded, some with a combination of white and blue striping. That way you always know what deck that you're on. The decks are numbered as well. As I slide on down, see here against the wall, white stripe, blue stripe, and there's a 2 imprinted on the middle. This is a professional ship. Know your way around. Here, you see these ribs in these hallways? These are called bulkheads. Bulkheads have numbers. See up in the corner? This one says 86. This is bulkhead 86. They're numbered from front to back, from bow to stern. I'm not going to bury you in naval terms to know that on this maze of a ship, where you are, whether it's port or starboard. If it's more towards starboard, the number's going to be on the right. If it's more toward port, it'll be on the left. The
Nice.
bulkhead number. Do you understand me so far?
I think so, yeah.
That's a lot of words.
All right. Right this way. Oh, and don't be concerned. But if we are on anywhere on shipmates will come to attention as we pass. You never know what emergency may be occurring on board a ship, or that I might need to give orders immediately. If they're hard at work or in an unsafe situation, they will not come to salute. But again, don't salute them back. They're not used to you yet. That all of this formality is for officers on deck. Myself, Malachi Hutza, Rosea is chief of security, and others. Rosea, can you help me with this? This hatch is sticking. Give me a hand.
I use both hands and boosh, muscle mommy lift it up.
There we go. See how heavy this is? As I point to him, see how heavy this door is? This is a watertight door. You can tell by the rubber seal. Just in case we take on damage and water starts filling the ship, we can at any time close these hatches and seal them up to prevent water from flooding the ship and drowning us all or sinking the ship. In air, there are air pressure issues. Sometimes a space might have low pressure or high pressure, and we need to seal it to balance that pressure out for safe entry. Otherwise, you can get sucked into a room unexpectedly. I continue walking down a hall. The biggest threat to every single ship is fire. If you hear those words in a row, fire, 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 then you will follow whatever orders are given. Since you're guests here, you won't have any. But stay out of the corridors at all costs. If we're on fire,
Do my best.
the tiny everything around us is
Oh, you're
whether
robotic.
whether we are in the sky.
Beep boop.
How am I doing? Oop, am I good?
You're
I
back.
think you cleared.
I think you're okay now.
Okay.
The corridor. You don't go in the corridor or something with the fires when you get out.
Yeah. When there's a fire emergency, do not enter the corridor. Damage control is going to be running from station to station to try to keep us alive. Fire is the biggest enemy on board this ship. Everything outside this ship is enemy. If we are in the sky, everything around us is air and is therefore potentially dangerous to blow us off course, tear our sails, or to knock us down out of the air. And that includes monsters. Yes, we hunt monsters. That's part of our Sky Lancer duty on board this ship. Oh, I forgot to tell you. I am a part of the Order of the Sky Lancers. Sky Lancers are an expeditionary force, not meant for war, as we've seen the cannons. But we're not really meant for that. We were meant for some monster hunting. There's even a harpoon on front of the ship for that. Multiple harpoons that can snare and bring down a large air beast. We also have a limited supply of Magitech ammunition for the cannons, but we rarely use that. We've rarely had the need to. Another thing about this ship is this is going to be not only your entire world. There is nothing outside but air or water. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to swim to. Right up here on the right. These are the captain. This is one of the captain's staterooms. It's a meeting room. We call it the ready room. We use it to get ready
The
for a
ready
particular
room.
event. Yes.
I saw that in the TV show. God, there's a character in the TV show named that. That's funny to me.
Fuck you guys. But I open it's a
Well,
lot
you should have
smaller than-
expected that one.
I know. But I open up the door to the ready room, and it looks like it's a square table with like 4 couches, and it's all bunched together. And there are shelves, and each one of the shelves looks like it's sealed shut, like it's locked. I point to those shelves. Anything that you have or bring aboard this ship, you're going to have to secure. This ship is going to make dips and turns and rising and falling motions that can turn this ship by as much as 30 to 45 degrees, which means anything that you put in an unsecured container is going to fly right at your face. Have everything secured at all times. No exceptions. Do you understand the safety methods so far?
Yeah,
Uh,
I think.
There's only one other thing that I need to tell you before our XO arrives, and that will be battle stations. If you hear those terms, battle stations, it means that we are under attack or we're about to be. Again, that's another thing to stay out of the corridors for. I sit down. There are bells on board this ship, and they're rung throughout the day. Not necessarily, not while we're moored like this, but once we get underway, we ring the bell, and we'll ring the bell all day to tell you what hour it is and what half hour it is. That way, our crew can get aboard their duties and get through their duties during the day. There are 3 shifts. There's a morning shift. We call it a morning shift, a day shift, and the night shift, and we rotate through those shifts. There's going to be a different set of officers attending to basic ship duties and lookout for each one of those shifts. And if you want to, I can assign you to join the officer of the watch. When the XO gets here, we're going to go through engineering. We're going to go through all manner as soon as he describes what damage has taken place and how that damage got here. Obviously, there wasn't some sort of major fight. Otherwise, that ship wouldn't be here. It'd be out on the water somewhere, and we'd have a different problem. I'll take you to the galley. You'll need to know where. We'll assign you some staterooms. Morgan, I haven't forgotten. We're going to put you near the keel of the ship. Probably next to one of the voids. Oh, yes, voids. Voids are areas of the ship that are not designed to have anything in them. And that's for engineering purposes. Pressure, heat, airflow, things like that. Voids are usually sealed to human travel because it's dangerous in there. It's not lit, and it smells pretty foul, to be honest. We have a cargo bay, and sometimes we use that for trade around Ionius. Not very often, but it's a relief from the standard cartography missions and monster hunting that this ship actually does. This ship, amongst the Skylancers, has been rated and is the fastest in the entire Ionian fleet. Not just the Expeditionary Corps, but the entire fleet. The reason I mention that is, we turn on those Magitech engines and accelerate to speed, you will actually be pushed against one of these walls. The ship is a moving thing. It is always moving. There is always turbulence. That's why there are handholds all around the ship. If there's a sudden tip or dive, grab for one of them. Etesian, you were saying something?
Oh, well, that bell thing every half hour, it sounds very pleasant.
Actually, it's a pretty loud bell depending on where you are. After all, we're working and we work hard to maintain this ship all the time. Seems like they've done a good catch-up job, but we also need to be aware of when, well, food. And that's a different time on board the ship. Food is served 3 times a day, once per shift. active crew always goes to the front of the line. The people that are rotating out who are on the current shift always get to the front of the line so that they can eat quickly and get back to their station. Some of them take their food with them. That's pretty common. Oh, and while we're in the galley, be aware that we have species with us. Sharkmen don't exactly have the best table manners.
They're fine. Have I met a shark man before? I don't remember.
Well, you will, and you'll meet some of the hammerheads too.
Oh, goody.
They have different species within them, just like we do. Just like humans do. Little variations here and there, but they're friendly folks. Wolves of the sea, they call themselves. They're very proud of it. It's unusual for a shark man to be on board a wooden boat, and it's a different type of hunting. But they've come to know that the type of hunting that we do is much bigger than what they've done in the ocean by themselves. We bring down the big ones. Are there any questions so far? Anything that you'll need to know during your stay here?
I have
No,
all the
thank you.
questions and no answers.
Well, you can ask them. One of the things that pops into my mind is we're going to have to hold a captain's mast. And a captain's mast happens when the captain and the senior officers gather at the ship's mast to either punish or to praise a crew member. It's usually not a good thing to go to captain's mast. And that means everybody has to muster there. Everyone that's available has to muster and witness. In this case, I'm going to have to introduce you to the entire ship's crew to get them used to you so they know who you are in the passageway, so that word gets around. In addition, we have, for those of you who fit, we do have spare uniforms. The difference is that you won't have your name engraved into the uniforms like we do. After we complete this mission, I'm going to change out of my diplomatic gear and my travel gear that I've been wearing all the time, and we'll be changing into Ionian military uniform. So I'm going to look a little different. Rosea will too.
Yeah, Randall, I was thinking maybe you can assign our teammates here a diplomatic role, like diplomatic liaison officers from Caldra.
That's entirely possible, but that's something we need to think about once we near the Ionian coast. While we're underway, it's better off for them to be familiar with the ship. That way they can at least stand guard and take on a role in case something should happen to the ship. Maybe even join us on deck for border to repel boarders. You see, and turn to the rest of the room. There are such things as sky pirates. They do exist, and they're a little bit thicker when we get closer to Ionius. It turns out that when you have the best Ionian shipbuilding and airship building facilities in the known lands, well, some people, including former Ionian military, they've chosen to take matters into their own hands and take advantage, become pirates, preying upon ships and innocent people. And that's where we come in. I know this may be a lot for you, but I'll tell you some basic terms to help get around the ship one more time. So at the very least, you'll know where you are, and you'll know where your bedding is so that you can sleep. I'm going to try to...
There were a lot of words there, but I didn't understand much any of them, so having them spoken again might be helpful.
Oh, I'll absolutely do that. We're just waiting right now for Malakasa, and then he can explain what's happened to the ship. I want you to be here while he is here.
There will be a knock on the hatch.
Enter.
And enters Malachi.
You want to describe him, Zex?
Mr. Hutzer is a broad-shouldered man with a bit of a pot belly, but underneath that is all muscle. So he's a big guy, ham-fisted. He's got hair on the back of his hands, and he's got mutton chops, big, thick mutton chops that you could sink your fingers into on either side of his cheeks. He's definitely out of grooming standards for the Ionian military, but he wears the uniform well, and he is an imposing figure that has to duck through the hatch to come up the other side while he keeps his hat on. The other thing about Malachi is that he has ruddy cheeks, real rosy cheeks like Santa Claus, dark brown hair to it. And the color of his eyes look like they're washed out like faded blue jeans. Sorry I'm out of uniform, Mr. Hutzer, but this was a diplomatic mission. I saw the condition of the ship, and I haven't had time to change into my uniform. What's the status?
Yeah. To make sure that he gets the door closed behind him. And he starts getting ready to speak before glancing over at the admittedly ragtag bunch.
Mr. Hutzer, can you dog that door, please? I don't want anyone else, including engineering, coming in here.
Yeah, of course. Things we're about to talk about might be a little sensitive.
Obviously. All of these people are from Cauldra, or from lands beyond. When we left the ship to go to the castle, we ran into a lot of trouble. Obviously, we've been away for much longer than we planned. It turns out that we have a message from the new Queen of Cauldra. Words from the Federation for the Ionian high military, and, of course, the king. The king of Cauldra is dead. If you haven't heard that already, which I'm sure that you have, we were witness to some of his final moments. He died peacefully, to be fair, but it was not without duress. The capital city was attacked, and the demons have returned.
Yeah. The main brunt of the invasion, yes.
Yes, although it wasn't really an invasion. They came for a specific item that the queen held. The Speaker's Crystal. The crystal that would allow the demons or anyone to speak directly to the Arcanum. I don't have to remind you how much potential raw power that an Arcanum has, if fully unleashed.
Right. We here, well, we'll talk to Cosmos. There was an attack on the city as well. Nothing
Right.
as much as the capital, but the docks were hit. As you can tell, we suffered some damage as well.
Are we airworthy?
He pauses and glances at the party again, and before back at Randall. Are these newcomers trustworthy?
That's irrelevant right now. We may be in a rush. I need your honest answer, Mr. Hutzer. Are we airworthy?
No.
I
And
see.
not from the attack.
All right. Tell me the details, Mr. Hutzer.
The investigation is still ongoing. Trying to keep it quiet. There's a possibility of a traitor on the ship.
Traitor? You mean a mutiny? Or a single individual?
Unclear.
Unclear.
But let's put it this way. Well, while we did suffer some external damage, there was damage from within the ship as well.
I see. Not from
Whether it
external
was,
fire weapons.
and it was places that you'd have to be upon the ship itself and familiar with it to get to.
I see. Engineering. I'm glad we didn't invite the chief engineer yet. All right. What is our mobility status? Are we ocean-worthy?
With the fast jobs that we've done, we are indeed oceanward.
That doesn't sound very comforting, which means we're limited to coastal travel?
We can manage to brave the seas long enough to get to the coasts of the islands between here and Ionius.
Which means we'll probably need to take a stop there in order to increase the stopgap measures to keep the ship afloat until then.
Make sure that we ain't spawning any leaks.
Understood. In your opinion, based on your seamanship, can we make it to one of the Ionian outer bases, or one of the associated territories?
If we make no delays.
Understood. It'll have to be a straight navigational line.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. So our next destination is probably one of the islands.
We'd probably have to travel the Cauldron Coast till we at least get to the Delta. Then straight lines from the first island and then to the second island before we can reach Ionius proper.
Understood. Well, I know that we can sail, so that's something. That's at least something that works. How's the Magitech engine?
Well, the flight capabilities have been cut from it.
Understood.
And we still have a good bit of sea speed to it, though running it at full capacity, I would advise against it. If we have to, we probably could, but it might exacerbate damage.
I understand. And getting the message there is more important than taking risks. We'll have to operate as best as we feel safe to do so, Mr. Kutza, and that means best speed available. Not necessarily top speed, but best speed available. We'll have a chat with the engineers to determine what that speed might be. Then we'll talk to our navigator and set course. And we'll make it to those islands. We'll take a stop there, assess how the ship is, and then continue on to Ionius, or to see whether we can transfer this message to something that's going to be faster than us. We're not the only airship out there. As long as we get in contact with one of them, or one of them is close by, I may have to transfer my flag off of the shooting star and take to the air to make better speed.
Of course, Captain.
What security measures have been done about this mutiny or traitor? What have you done so far?
Right now, I've been keeping the investigation team down to people that I was with during our battle. Considering these people were by my side, there's less chance of them being part of the mutiny party.
I would agree.
Until we can fully clear and vet people, I've been keeping the investigation team to this small number.
And what if they turned up so far?
Let me do a. I'll just do a faith roll.
Well,
There.
Rosea, under the current circumstances, Miss Rosea, we should really be thinking about who can absolutely be trusted, and then work our way around from there. I don't like taking on a ship under a desperate condition with a potential saboteur or a mutiny on board. Has there been talk amongst the common crew of mutiny, or is this just rumor?
The common crew seem to be safe. There's been no mutinous disgruntled talking. Just the normal. What word am I looking
Scuttlebutt.
for? Yeah,
Yes, that's exactly the word you're looking for.
yeah. Just the normal scuttlebutt between each other. Nothing that would hint at them being mutinous,
I
which
take a moment.
would open up to either those of the officers or those above the common crew.
I was thinking the same thing. So, in your estimation, Mr. This is more likely either a singular individual or a small number of officers that have done this damage to the ship to keep us here.
At
Well,
most, I'd
considering our
say
mission,
probably 3 at most, if it's not
considering
just a
our
single individual.
considering our mission and what has transpired, I would assume that somehow, some way, they're connected with the demons. What else could it be?
Under the circumstances, the simplest explanation is usually the right one. I'm forced to agree. Is there any discussion from any of the other adventuring party members? By the way, I need to introduce you, Mr. Hudson. First up, this is Briar Rosewood. Her companion is named Bugabud.
Uh, she'll try to give a formal bow or her approximation of one. Pleasure to meet you, sir.
No, like this.
Bug-
And he does a proper salute. If you're going to be
you know better
formal
than that.
about it,
You
like
know better than
this.
that, Mr. Hudson. These are guests, Mr. Hudson.
Of course.
This is a devotee of Morgan, if you're familiar with that deity. If not, I'll explain later. This is Olivia. Olivia, this is Executive Officer Malachi Hudson, my second in command, first mate, and more.
Hello. And then she'll reach her hand out for a shake.
He eyes you for a moment for the and reaching out a hand to shake it. Firm, very firm grip.
We're getting
Unfortunately,
a lot of wind,
her grip
Sax.
is much more firm, like
What?
almost painfully so. She doesn't mean to, but she does squeeze pretty hard.
We're getting a lot of wind from your mic for some reason, Sax.
Oh, hang on. It's my fan. It's my fan. It's my room.
Yeah.
But yeah, she squeezes his hand extremely tight, and that's just her not really understanding her own strength.
Firm. Strong one.
Well, we might have Olivia here handle and see how well that she is on the big strands. The silent one over there is Kunzo, shogunate samurai, and this is important. The shogunate has broken away from the Confederation of Cauldra and is working in league with the demons.
That doesn't seem right.
No, it doesn't.
I mean,
Most
during
of the
the attack
Confederation
on
is.
this city, there were those of the Shogunate that were fighting in the defense of the city.
Then it may be an element of the shogunate. There may be a civil war happening there.
Or maybe they didn't know that what the shogunate leader was doing. Who knows? Communication is not
Or
instant.
that's true. They also may know and be trying to curry favor with Cauldre, letting them know that there are loyal shogunate warriors that are willing to be part of the new Queen's Federation. The diplomatic situation in Cauldre is bound to be in flux with the new queen on the throne. But I'm glad to see that not all of the shogunate warriors have immediately turned sides toward the evil that the demons represent. Still, we need to be careful about shogunate warriors anywhere in the city, or especially on the docks near this ship.
Very well.
Because of the diplomatic flux, they could be turned and could become enemies. That's why we pulled up the gangplank. Even though we may have some people still in town on liberty, we need to make sure that we're a secure ship, at least for the moment. So, apologies in advance for that. Mr. Hutza, I haven't finished introducing everyone. This is Etesian, a mystic. And Etesian, by all records and by all accounts, comes from the unknown land of Mysteria.
Yes, I come from a lot of places. How are you?
I'm doing all right, all things considered.
Yeah. You ever been off this planet? Just asking. No real reason.
No one has.
Oh well, I guess that makes me special. Anyway, do you have a fun but not hard job for me on this ship to do? I like to help, but I'm not exactly
We will.
a rough and tumble sailor type of person.
Fun, maybe. Not hard, no.
No, I don't like that.
You can scuttle the jib.
I can what?
Well, I was thinking more sickbay. Sickbay, we do have a sickbay on board the ship, and we do have some crew members from time to time that do need special attention. I'll introduce you to the medical crew.
Doc would be happy to have a new assistant, and
We can find functions for all of you if that's what you're focused on. Right now, you're guests, and on ship tradition, until you learn the layout of the ship, how to move around, first job that everyone does, especially new recruits, is in the galley, preparing and serving food for the crew. I understand that Etesian is an interesting cook.
Yeah.
It
I
makes some
have
pretty
some
good stuff.
crew be questioning Mysterian cooking, though.
Maybe, but we don't have Mysterian materials on board. I'm sure that cooks can work together relatively well.
And the other two, the
Well,
rabbit and the bear.
those two, yes. As I adjust my tunic and make sure it's tight and neat, and spend a little bit of extra time smoothing it out, as Zaya and Lesha are mentioned. Well, that's part of the issue. Lesha is going to be assigned to engineering, and Lesha is going to be looking at our Magitech engine. After the normal operation is made known to her, we're going to use Lesha to try to figure out exactly what was done to it and how and what we need to repair it. In addition, Lesha is going to be part of the supply crew, part of the supply and engineering crew, with access to our limited workshop that we have aboard. As for Zaya, Zaya is going to be assigned to supply, and during our trip is going to be an adjunct to the quartermaster, managing the supplies aboard ship. Zaya has brought forth a large number of inventory of her own, and we'll need to keep that separate. There are some new things that the crew can enjoy.
Understood.
Both Lesha and Kenzo are from the Shogunate. However, they too are on the right side of history and are not part of the Civil War on either side. Now that I'm aware of the situation, I can say with confidence that both Kenzo and Lesha are quite independent of Shogunate politics, as they haven't been back to their homeland for quite some time. Therefore, they're not of any concern to any complications for the investigation or the mutiny that may be occurring amongst my officer corps.
Understood, Captain.
So, to review, we are not airworthy, we're truly oceanworthy, so we can't travel wherever we want. So we're going to be limited functionally toward coastal areas. That may affect our navigational path. Our mission right now is to get this knowledge of the demon invasion back home, back to the Stratagarch, so that he can determine the strategy for our nation and everything that might entail. That also means that we're going to have to meet with the royal family and bring back that expeditionary news that their king is dead and has been replaced by his daughter, the new queen. Not only that, but we have to relay the message the shogunate is now untrustworthy and potentially in a state of civil war. We haven't seen that, but there are indications that there are still loyal shogunate warriors. Is there anything else from your side, Mr. Hudson?
The mission was actually for further down southwestish, whereas the destination for the party will be going northwest, just going straight for
Something to
Ionia.
report. I just want to make sure. I forgot what I want a recap of it, and I want to make sure we report it because it was big news.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of big news. Not all of those things are worthy to share right now. The main course is that the demons have returned, and the diplomatic meeting to restore diplomatic relations with the Queen has been buried under the priority of the demon invasion, the succession, and the potential unstable nature of this confederacy. I don't know how good the Queen is, and I don't know what she's doing, if anything at all, in the way of battling upheavals within her own. What I do know is that any diplomatic relations between Ionius and Cauldra are going to have to go through the Queen, and they're going to be difficult because the Queen may have other problems. The biggest problem of all is alerting our people of the potential of the breakdown of the Demon's Dome and a full invasion of our country. So, speed is of the essence, Mr. Hudson. Whether it's the speed of the shooting star, reduced or otherwise, or another airship that we might have to transfer to. I prefer home. Is that understood?
Understood, Captain. We'll be launching
All
within
right.
the hour.
Actually, yes. Put the gangplank back down and send some of our security forces outside. Miss Rosea, I'm sure you can handle that. To recall all Liberty Party once.
I'll get on it, and I depart. and
Mr.
rally the
Hudson,
security.
Mr.
Yes,
Hudson,
Captain.
you are to gather the rest of the officer corps and the available crews to meet for a captain's mast, so I can lay out the new mission and introduce the new members, our guests, and potential new members of our crew.
Yes, sir.
And one more thing. This entire conversation, all of it, for now, is confidential except for the fact that we've brought guests aboard and that we will be setting sail for the sea within the hour.
Of course, that was the only
Then
thing we
how?
discussed during this.
All right. Your orders are clear. Miss Rosea, Mr. Hudson, you have your orders. You are dismissed.
As Rosé and Hutzpah turn head out to go do their duties. Pages flip on the book, and we're taken to a scene of a decent garden on the deck of a ship. So someone in a hood in a hooded cape tended to the garden. It's after as she's wearing the pants. So suddenly the wine can drops from her hand. She clutches at her head with a red hand that looks like it's covered in some sort of organic metal. As it says, yeah, happens. Someone comes up to her. Madame, are you all right? Something's coming into our waters. She stands up shaking her head. The hood of her cape coming down. Red hair and a scarred face looking out over the sea. Might want to get float some ray to sail and prepare me a ship. Yep. I need to figure out what's going on, and I want to keep my home safe. The man next to her, no, it's we'll get something ready for you as soon as possible, ma'am. Do you need any escort with you? And she shakes her head. And I don't want to put y'all in any more undue harm than you have as you have been keeping me safe. He gives a nod to her. Heads off as well as wind blows. Cloak is blown in the wind. Well, there is flesh to her. There is more of this red organic metal flowing across parts of her body. Not all metal, but not all flesh either. Thought I had escaped. What are they doing getting in here? And that's where the book closes.
Just like Shrek.
Is it a villain, bad boy?
Nope, that was not a villain.
Was it Lesha's and Kenzo's master?
No.
I don't know who it was then.
Yeah, nobody knows who it is.
A mystery.
Any other scenes?
No, that's it.
All right, I'm gonna stop